Hey everybody, it's Wednesday, March 18th. It's our second dispatch. I want to share with you a little bit about the readings for today, maybe just a few updates, and that's it. The readings today from the daily lectionary are Psalm 81. Again, the Psalms, you'll remember, repeat 3 days in a row. Don't skip over them though. Read them each time, because I'm sure something new will come out as you reread the words as they become a little bit more familiar, especially with a longer psalm like this one. Also, Jeremiah 2, verses 4 through 13, and John chapter 7, verses 14 to 31 and 37 to 39. The passage from Jeremiah, this is a prophet who is dealing with the people of Israel at the time of their exile. And so they are in exile, and here Jeremiah comes off as a little bit of a scold to the people, reminding them of all that God had done for them and pointing out the ways that they blew it, the ways that they failed to be faithful. He says, "My people have changed their glory for something that does not profit." He says, "Be appalled, O heavens, at this. Be shocked, be utterly desolate, for my people have committed two evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living water, and dug out cisterns for themselves, cracked cisterns that can hold no water." This is a colorful image that he's using, and it actually has connections to the passage in John, as we'll see. But Jeremiah is pointing out two problems for the people. One, they've given up on the abundance of God, the living water, right? And they have relied on their own abundance, which of course is flawed and failed, and it's not going to be enough for the people of God. Here we come back to the theme that we started with yesterday of God's good provision for the people of Israel. So then when we turn to John's Gospel, we have Jesus confronting authorities in the temple. They have an argument over the nature of the law and the Sabbath. We see here, as in other places in John's Gospel, an unwillingness or an inability among certain people to recognize that Jesus is the Messiah. John is the latest of the four Gospels, and by the time John is written, there is a clear distinction between the Christian community and the Jewish community, whereas for the earlier texts of the New Testament, the lines between those two groups were still very blurred, and Jews and Christians intermingled in a much more substantial way. But by John's time, they were separate. And so part of what's going on in John's Gospel is an attempt to understand how these two groups could be so distinct, how Jews, which were the same family of God as now Christians, how they could have been wrong, how they could have missed what Jesus was, who he was, what he meant. And so John focuses a lot in his depiction of Jesus on recognizing the significance of Jesus through miracles, through actions of Jesus, through his teaching, and his claims to be from the Father, which we see here. And of course, Jesus talks about living water. Again, the provision of God and a direct connection to our passage from Jeremiah. So read these passages, think about how they connect to one another. Feel free to share a comment about what stood out to you as you looked at these passages. Couple quick updates. One is that we are going to try live streaming again this Sunday. We have some work to do in terms of lining up the technology, so we're not yet sure how it's going to happen, meaning where you need to go to find it. But as soon as we have that sorted out, we're going to get that information to you as quickly as possible. I have also received from several people offers to help in whatever way church members might need support, whether it's dropping groceries on the front porch, any kind of help. I've gotten offers from multiple directions. So if you are someone who feels like they might need some of that kind of help, reach out to me. I think we can probably meet those needs as we move through this very strange and challenging time together. I want to remind you to share prayer requests. You can send an email to prayer@milfordpc.org. That's a great way for us to continue to stay in touch with our own needs as a community of faith. And then a note for families. Kelly Carey has put together a video of Sunday school materials from the previous Sunday. I will be posting that video to our Facebook page soon. I will also post to the Facebook page some resources I recently received about how to talk to your child about coronavirus. I found it very helpful, and I think maybe you will as well. That's it for today, and I'll see you tomorrow.